Hey, YouTubers. Um, while I was uploading my intro video, I was thinking a couple of things. One, YouTube in the beginning, they allow you just to do a few minutes. So I'm probably going to be shooting, well, it's going to be at least a video every Sunday or so, Sunday or Monday. But I might be shooting a few minutes of video every day. Every day. The other thing I was going to say is, while I was uploading the intro video, I thought to myself, if I could change things in this country, if I could just go click and have everything changed, the number one thing I would change would be I would have black people working together. Now, I know I mentioned that earlier, but I was thinking, I know some black folks think that we can't do that for whatever reason. I think we can do it. Because I was thinking, in my town where I live, there's a whole, I guess it's about 4 or 5 block area, if not more than that, that maybe 10 years ago was all black folks and Hispanics. Now it's all Arabs. They got a mosque there and everything. And you hardly ever see them out of their neighborhoods, really, out of their areas. They're like buying, selling between their own businesses in their own neighborhoods. They go to their own restaurants, they go to their own grocery stores, they use their own gas stations. They do everything right there. Their own cleaners, all that kind of shit. There's lots of Hispanics here in this town. They do the same thing. Lots of white folks here, of course. They do the same thing. But here there's also lots of Jews, and there's actually a whole, I guess that's about maybe a 10 or 12 block area, 10 or 15 block area on the northwest side of town, which is actually the richest, most affluent side of town here. Pretty much nothing but Jews there. They do the same thing. They got their synagogues, they got their stores and everything. And they actually spend their money with their own people to build their people up. The only group that doesn't really, well, the Asians do it too. There's Asians here too, and they've like hijacked the restaurant business basically. And you go to an Asian restaurant here, you might see some black folks working, some Hispanic folks working, but it's predominantly Asian people working there at that restaurant. At the Asian restaurants. So they're taking care of that. They're running their stuff right there. The only group that is not doing that is African Americans. It's us. We need to be doing that. Even the Africans here do that same thing. Same thing. So they're no different from us. They're no smarter than us. None of that shit. So I think we can do it. We just need a plan. We need a plan. So we can move forward and do what we got to do. One thing I was thinking a while back was, it would be cool if we could, I guess, basically commandeer 4 states in the middle of the country, and everyone who is African American or that wants to go there, and everyone who loves an African American or cares about us, etc., we all go there and we just take over. Take over. Take over the city government, school boards, all that kind of shit. Take over the banks, take everything, all the businesses and everything. And that's one thing that we could actually do that would help rebuild Black Wall Street here in the U.S. Oh, wait. Anyway, just me talking some shit there. And again, like and subscribe. I'm going to try to maybe shoot a video a day. I may not make it, but I'm going to do at least once per week. I'll walk out here to the park in my neighborhood while I'm exercising, and I'll shoot a small video. But during the week is when I'm going to be holding up the books and things like that. One book I think people should read that I've read is the book Black Like Me by John Griffin. Basically, in a nutshell, the reason I mention that is because nowadays when you go onto your Facebooks and your YouTubes and whatever, you see non-black people talking about how easy things are for black people. I think I've seen people even talk shit about how we get things for free. You know, how slavery doesn't affect us nowadays, how Jim Crow, some folks don't think it even ever happened or ever existed, but I'm going to find information on that so we can prove that to them. I know it existed, but what I'm getting at is a lot of these people believe that they don't believe us when we say the kind of things that happen to us. They don't. Well, this author, John Griffin, I forgot what he actually did for a living, but I know he wrote this book. Basically, what he did back in, I think it was back in the 50s, something like that, 40s or 50s, I think it was the 50s, he took some sort of medicine that actually changed his skin darker. He was a white man, so he changed his skin and he shaved his head, right? Now, he had kind of white folks features with a pointy nose and all that kind of stuff, but he did that, and then he traveled around, I think it was for a month or two, as a black person. And he actually went through it. He went through it. His own friends didn't recognize him and treated him like shit. He saw that his own friends were racist. He saw it. He actually saw the world through the eyes of a black man. Saw it. All the shit that happens to us ended up happening to him. All the hassles, all the harassment, all that kind of crap that happens to us for no reason, it happened to him. I think that book should be required reading in school. If not, it should be required reading in every white family that cares. And there's a lot that do. But yeah, so I think that's gonna be the first book I'm gonna talk about in detail in the next few days. Let's see, other books that I was thinking of that might help you out. Let me see here. Up from Slavery, Booker T. Washington. He went from being a slave to being, obviously very famous, highly educated, etc. That actually covers his entire life. That's an excellent book to read. The autobiography of Malcolm X. I actually talked about that one. I actually did a paper about that book in college. So that's a good one to read. Anything by Langston Hughes. So I'm going to talk about some of those too. Man-Child in the Promised Land by Claude Brown. That's a good one. Raisin in the Sun, Lorraine Hansberry. That's a good one. Let's see here. But there's a bunch of them. There's oh God, I think it's Nat Turner Diaries, I believe it's called. I got the book at home. I'll look at that too. But yeah, the purpose of our blog, the majority of it's going to be talking about books that black folks can learn from. Learn history, learn entrepreneurship, learn about art, learn about our contributions to medicine, learn about black inventors, things like that. Just learn more, because I truly believe that without a foundation, you have nothing to stand on. And we need a foundation. And when our ancestors were put through slavery and Jim Crow, all of that was taken away from us. All of it. Our foundation was erased. Our religion, our real religion, was erased. Our language, our history, everything. I mean, shit. As far as we know, I could be talking to relatives right now that I've never fucking met in my life because our families were separated. But, yeah, anyway, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think about this video and about this channel and what you want to hear and what you want to see. Again, when I get the website set up, I'll come on here and let you know. When I get the Instagram set up, I'll come on here and I'll let you know. But, yeah, leave some comments here. I would definitely appreciate it. Again, I'm trying to do this to help out black folks and folks who love black folks and folks who want to understand black folks. So go ahead and help me out there with some comments, some ideas, things like that. Thanks, and y'all have a nice day. Bye.